Well, speaking of that, as they aim for the moon, many right here at home are aiming for a new career. And a newly released Best Jobs list of 2026 by U.S. News and World Report might guide that aim. And I'm happy to say here to discuss the results is their Vice President of Careers, Carly Chase. Carly, thank you for joining us this morning wearing green for the Money Watch vibes. I love it. So this list, I want to dive right in. What is the criteria that drove this?
Yes, we look at 5 major points of criteria. We roll up a number of data points from the BLS into each of these. And the
Bureau
5
of labor statistics.
Yes, exactly. And the 5 are we look at things like future prospects, we look at employment data, we look at wage potential, which is obviously something a lot of people look towards. But then we look at what the job actually feels like. So we look at work-life balance, and we also look at job security and safety.
Oh, you look at work-life balance.
We do.
I love that.
Yes.
So STEM jobs are really driving this, especially in healthcare.
Absolutely.
How so?
Yeah, so, year after year, even though every year is a new year and you don't need to look back, we should all look forward. We do see nurse practitioner being the #1 job for the last 3 years in a row. And when you do look at the top 10 jobs, you're right, healthcare is very highly representative. Healthcare continues to be a place where, there is employment opportunities, there's growing employment opportunities, and a lot of mismatch in the labor market in terms of folks going to school to get these very technical degrees, whether to be a nurse practitioner or a type of tech or a doctor.
And if you look at the list that's up right now, a lot of those are healthcare jobs. Nurse practitioner, PA, medical and health services manager. Okay.
That's right.
And I mean, speaking of the BLS, right, the jobs report that comes out, you always see healthcare at the top, driving the jobs that are being created. I want to ask you, though, I noticed a couple of jobs on here, number 4, information security analyst. You also have IT manager. How is AI affecting this? Because those are some of the jobs where I go, are those going to exist long term?
I think the truth is it's all speculation. We really don't know how this is going to shake out, right? 2025 to me was really the first year that AI became pretty ubiquitous in our culture, that consumers and everyday sort of people started really leveraging it, and businesses started to really try to figure out how to integrate it into its business. But I think we're seeing a lot of mixed reporting out there. Even I follow a lot, the CEO of Anthropic talks a lot about how, he assumes or predicts that, his company, Anthropic, which is in the B2B marketplace selling AI to businesses, is going to affect the labor market. And so they've had a lot of contradicting sort of statements. First, predicting that maybe 50%, as much as 50% of entry-level jobs might be eventually eliminated in the next few years. But they recently, in the last couple of weeks, came out with some softer data. So to answer your question, I don't think we know. I think, what I found interesting about the top 10 actually is that manager is in 3 of the titles of those jobs. And so to me, that really shows that, becoming an expert in a field, but more than that, bringing your soft skills, knowing how to delegate, knowing how to set strategy, knowing how to have tough conversations. To me, those are really the skills that AI is not going to be able to replicate in the workplace. And so if you really can sort of combine that technical expertise with what to me is an increasingly growing in importance, those durable and soft skills.
We only have a few seconds left.
Yeah.
Pilot is on this list.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, pilot is actually one of the newer jobs that we started evaluating a couple of years ago. I think, when you look at the wage potential, when you look at a lot of the regulatory sort of protections for pilots, I think it is a good quality job. And that job, again, not going away in my
And I hear they get to travel a lot, so that's always good.
All those miles that you build up.
Do they earn miles? Probably not.
Well,